All right, straight to a Fox News alert. Dozens are hurt after another mishap on a Boeing plane.
So the commercial Boeing jet was flying from Sydney, Australia to New Zealand when it reportedly suffered a technical problem.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it. Brooke Singman joins us now in the studio with more. Brooke, what do we know?
Hey guys, 50 people were hurt on that commercial flight heading to Auckland earlier this morning. Now, a spokesperson for the airline telling the New Zealand Herald that the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner suffered what is being called a technical issue mid-flight, causing a strong movement. Most passengers suffering minor injuries, with one person in serious condition. The flight was headed to Santiago, Chile from Sydney, Australia, when it was diverted back to Auckland, New Zealand. The flight normally stops in Auckland on its way to Santiago and landed without incident. Now, this is just the latest in a series of technical and mechanical mishaps on Boeing aircraft, including a tire falling off a United flight in San Francisco during takeoff and a plane that went off the runway in Houston just last week. On top of heavy scrutiny for issues with quality control, Boeing is also under a new criminal investigation related to the incident where the door plug on a commercial jet operated by Alaska Airlines blew off mid-flight. This was not the only issue with a Boeing jet today. A United Airlines flight going from Sydney to San Francisco diverted back to Australia after another mid-air emergency on a Boeing 777. A mechanical issue being blamed for diverting that flight back to Sydney Airport. No injuries reported as the plane landed there safely. But no word on either of today's incidents yet from Boeing, and the cause of both of those issues are under investigation. Guys.
All right, thanks, Brooke. Appreciate it.
All right, let's bring in former FAA head Billy Nolen to help us put this story, all of these stories, quite honestly, into context. Billy, good morning to you. I'd love to start here. I neither want to be dismissive nor do I want to hyperventilate about all these airline troubles. So I would love to ask you this. You know, every summer we do stories on shark attacks, and every summer we have to remember that shark attacks aren't actually on the rise, but they're not something that we should be dismissive of either. How serious should we take the mounting number of stories we hear from trouble in the skies?
Yeah, your point is a really, really good one. When we think about it, I like to, let's think about a whiteboard, right? You look at a whiteboard, and there's nothing on you put one dot, two dots on it, and you're drawn to that, right? So I can say categorically that that aviation, commercial aviation, it is as safe as it's ever been, and is certainly the safest mode of transportation. That being said, as you see, anytime you see any sort of trend or uptick in incidents, it's an opportunity for us, as stakeholders within the global aerospace system, to say what's going on. We can look at that via our safety management systems as we think of these investigations. Now, if you look at these latest 3, 4, 5 incidents, none of them appear to be related, but still, you'll do a deep dive into that. Both, I expect that from Boeing. You'll certainly see it from the FAA. Where warranted, you'll also see it from the National Transportation Safety Board. So as we learn more and as we get to the bottom of these investigations, it's a time to ask ourselves, is there anything that we should be doing different, either as an airline or as an OEM, or from a regulator's perspective, from the FAA's perspective?
Billy, I take Will's point, and it's probably true. Pete Buttigieg said the same thing on our channel last week, where he said, planes are the safest means of transportation. I get that. But as someone that's on a plane pretty much every other day, it seems like I'm hearing more and more stories about these crashes. So help put our mind at ease. I know the numbers are the numbers, but why are we hearing it more often now?
Yeah, it's a fair question. You think about it. Now, there haven't been any crashes per se. We've had some incidents. We had a runway excursion where the United plane was off of the runway. We've had this one now that probably seems pretty horrifying in the moment when you experience that kind of a drop. And I know it's been talked about as a technical issue. The beauty of how far we've advanced is that you've got great systems on board that can record all kinds of data. So this is an opportunity for both LATAM, for the regulatory agencies to look in and say, hey, what happened here? At a macro level, though, it's always a good opportunity, as we said, to say we are in one of the safest periods in the history of human flying.
That's true, but Boeing's got huge problems, and when they lose the paperwork on with those plugs in those doors, and they just add, we don't know where it is, and then we find out more things are going wrong. People are getting a little upset by the lack of accountability.
What I would expect from Boeing, and I think you heard it from Secretary Buttigieg, you also heard it from Administrator Whitaker, right? The expectation is Boeing's continue and look through the lens of its safety management system and ensure that, say, hey, what are we seeing? You know, safety and quality are what I think of as the social license to operate, right? So my expectation that Boeing will get to the bottom of what they need to do to fix the quality pieces.
But I lost my paperwork? I'm going to get to the bottom of it? I mean, that sounds like the Keystone Cops in there.
Well, what I would say there is that, you know, technology has brought us a long way. This is an opportunity to say what happened here. If to the extent that that's a failure or either of a process or a procedure, is an opportunity for Boeing to be able to talk about that and then put that back into their safety management system so that these things don't continue to occur.
A lot of people demanding answers from Boeing, the FAA, all around. Billy, thank you for your expertise.
Thanks, Billy.
And 50 people are hurt.
Yeah, 50 people. Yeah, big deal.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.